That was me. I was the brains behind some of Mr. J's greatest stunts. Not that he let anyone know it. I guess all good things have to come to an end.
Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I want to talk about something that could or could not be happening. It really just depends on the week, and I am talking about Gotham City Sirens. Now, I did cover the Birds of Prey situation and how badly it did and how it really needed to do better in order to cement that Gotham City Sirens movie. But here's the thing. I actually think Gotham City Sirens needs to happen. And there is a really good reason for it. Simply because this movie needs to happen to fix the character of Harley Quinn. Now, I do love this character. And I actually love the Sirens. Paul Dini did some of the most amazing arcs when it comes to that. But I want to talk about what I would do. And there's just two main things I'm going to talk about. Two rules, which one would be my pitch, and the other one is simple. When it comes to Gotham City Sirens, they need to go back to David Ayer when he made them sexy. Now, I am not talking about booty shorts. There's other ways to be sexy, but Birds of Prey took that all away. And Gotham City Sirens, let me repeat this, has to be sexy. And you can be covered up and sexy. You can be uncovered and sexy. You really don't need to, show all TNA to be sexy. There are ways, but you also don't need to wear a burlap sack, Harley Quinn. Anyways, that is my first rule. Now I want to tell you about how I would fix everything that's going on with Harley Quinn as far as the extended universe goes, how I would keep Birds of Prey canon, and how I would go further when it comes to Gotham City Sirens, kind of, at least slowly, beginning to fix everything that is canon. So, here is my pitch. And normally I don't ask this, but make sure you guys leave a comment or a like, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe. This video is something I'm excited to talk about. So, please make sure you do. Now let's talk about my pitch. We need to have it be where Harley and Cassandra and Brucey make their way to a new town. That is where they left off when it came to Birds of Prey. While there, someone is already spying on them. And after, of course, some Harley shenanigan, eventually she has a run-in with Selina and then meets Ivy. Now, these are going to be on two separate occasions. So, obviously, these two villains already exist. There's no need to bog down a huge origin story. You could even do something simple like they did with Birds of Prey with the Huntress. They flash back. It was a little bit of a backstory, and that's it. We don't need a huge origin story for these characters. This, then will lead on to Harley feeling like she's finally found a group she can truly get along with. And then, at one point have Cassandra point out about the Birds of Prey. And Harley kind of brushes it off, admitting she knew she could never fit in. That way you separate Birds of Prey and Gotham City Sirens. And that she thinks Gotham City Sirens is doing the right thing, right? But Harley does her thing, which admittedly is usually the wrong thing. So, at first she feels like things are going really well and things look good until somebody starts gunning for Harley. You could have some dialogue like, "What, again? I don't even think I pissed anybody off this time," and then have her go on and say, aside from the police and a gang or two and the vendor that slapped my ass, you can add these things in. You can make it Harley. So we have these three working together, and you find out that this person that's been following them is Gagsworth, but he is not the Gagsworth we know from, I think he was introduced in Union when it comes to Gotham City Sirens. He, instead of being an old sidekick, make him a Joker fanboy. And even if you want to add a little bit of, I don't know if you'd call it political or, jabs at social commentary right now. Make it a toxic fanboy. Like, you could make it work. But he feels like Harley is still ruining Joker's reputation by doing all this stuff away and separate from him. So Harley admits her plan, but she doesn't care. But during this confrontation, now Gagsworth would be not obviously the main villain. You won't actually know who the main villain is until the last few minutes of the movie. But he's just kind of like an instigator, kind of like Victor Zsasz was when it came to Birds of Prey. So they obviously defeat him, and Harley kind of has this realization that as long as Joker is alive, his shadow will always be over her one way or another. It'll always be there. So she decides to get everyone together and kill him once and for all. Now, of course, this would take being able to use the Joker, and I don't know if that's on the table right now, but we could see. So now they haven't known each other very long, Selina, Pamela, and Harley. And rather than trying to stop Harley, they just agree with her. They just go along with it because, it's Joker. They don't like Joker. They want him out of the way. So they find wherever he is stationed. Hacienda. There could be a different, amusement mile, anything. So now to make it clear about the different characters, Selina is just a cat burglar. She is not, over evil. She's nothing like that. She'll get aggressive in self-defense, but she doesn't kill and murder, and needless murder, rather, is kind of a line she won't cross. And that's how Selina's been anyway. But they make their way to Joker, who is making this big plan to take out the city using Joker gas-filled plants. Remember that. That's important. So he can rob everything blind. And you think, it'll kind of lead you to the point where you think the damaged loyalties will occur because we have a cat burglar on it. But you can really probably honestly see where I'm going with this. So Harley gets right up to Joker. But Joker tells her he heard about her dealings with Black Mask and he couldn't be more proud of her. More abuse at Joker's hand in the form of manipulation. And Harley eats it up. And, well, Cassandra would be there, alongside of Harley. But true to form, Harley will be all over him and willing to help him execute the plans. Yet Selina and Cassandra and Ivy will not be having any of it. So we're getting, a shift in alliances here, right? So Selina feels like the only alternative to stop the plan is to kill the plants. These plants release the Joker toxin. Selina feels like the death of the plants will prevent this from happening. And you can see where I'm going with this. Now, during this whole movie, Selina and Cassandra have started to bond. And Selina has kind of helped her, learn how to defend herself. Something that she's natural and skill with, but it's a surprise to her. So basically, when we talk about the climax, it's going to focus on Selina and Cassandra having to take Ivy, Harley, and Joker down. And during this, Joker makes some nasty comments at Harley and snaps at her. And she kind of snaps out of that puppy love state that, she was manipulated into and takes him down at the same time. Ivy, trying to spare the plants, gets Joker gas. But for her, it causes an insane Joker reaction, not the laugh to death reaction that we're used to. So she's not going to die from it simply because obviously Ivy is Plant Lady. So we are going to see a little bit different Ivy. Now, this all will end up leading to a fight scene to stop Ivy. And eventually, they would have to go through and, manipulate this a little bit more, but they would succeed. And this is using, the usual Harley shenanigans and maybe even adding something in funny like some weed killer or something like that. But at the end, Ivy would get arrested. Harley would leave and Cassandra stay with Selina. They develop this relationship. And Harley kind of comes to this realization she's better off alone. Well, her and Brucey anyway, right? Because you've got to have that cute hyena during this. So, and then she stops, and for just a second, she is looking over at Arkham, realizes maybe she's not better off alone, and she breaks Ivy out of Arkham, and the two drive off in the sunset. All the while, she admits, she hates being alone. She needs somebody. Now, I wasn't able to completely fix the character of Cassandra Cain, who is absolutely nothing like her character in Birds of Prey, but you could go off a few different ways, making more sense of her original origins, right? You could almost make her like the Jason Bourne type, and still keep some mystery about her. So you can add up moments where, they're training and she does something offhanded and doesn't realize it, or when she starts to get more quiet, which is something very true to Cassandra's character, and just chalks it up to remembering stuff she shouldn't know, of course. For her, it makes no sense, but you could even add in a flashback about her father, anything like that. And this also will cement Selina as the least of the three evils when it comes to the Gotham City Sirens, because she actually pays attention and believes Cassie, when she says she's remembering stuff, and Harley just brushes it off. And that leads to that relationship bonding throughout the movie between Selina and Cassandra, which, leads them closer to the Bat family, Harley further into her shenanigans and evilry, and closer to Ivy. This would make a lot of people happy when it comes to Cassandra being so disrespected in Birds of Prey, and even Harley at that too. Obviously sex sells, so with Gotham City Sirens, that's a must-have, right? So it would also give us that Ivy and Harley ship that people really, really want too. This could make a lot of people happy. I really wish they would at least listen to the fans. And what I mean by listening to the fan is not taking what I have to say word for word, but realizing that there is a pitch out there, whether it's mine or it's yours, or it's an executive at WB and at&t that can do better, that knows better, that knows the comics, the characters, and can make them all work with the mess they've created. Now, will it actually happen? Highly, highly unlikely. But just sharing a story like this proves that it can be done. It needs to be done. It can fix these characters. I can fix these characters. If I can do it, WB definitely can. So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this pitch. I just think sometimes it's fun to look at what Hollywood has ruined and try to fix it, even if, it is not so possible. Let me know what you guys think, of course, and I want to give a huge shout out to Robert for helping me with this video, and Robert Willing, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Paws, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content, and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.